Hello, it's Kris Stevens here, and welcome to my podcast. It's episode number 4, and today I'm talking about enabling and rock bottom. And the two are kind of polar opposites. And, for anyone who's watching this who has, lived with a drug addict, whether it be a parent or a partner, I know there's a lot of partners out there that are suffering with, addicted husbands and things like that. And I know that there's an awful lot of parents out there with children, some who aren't even children, who are adults, who are still living at home, and their parents are still enabling them to live this lifestyle, which ultimately is leading them to an early death. And while they're doing that, they're causing a lot of mayhem and destruction along the way. Now, I have hit rock bottom, and I have hit rock bottom on multiple occasions. And I can tell you that every time I have had a rock bottom, it's been an incredible gift. And this is the gift that you are denying your loved one. So, to give you a bit of a background into, my last rock bottom. Now, my last rock bottom was very, very significant. It involved bankruptcy. So for those of you who didn't know, I was a CEO and founder of a very successful business, and it employed 70 staff members. I had 2 locations. I had a billionaire investor, and we were growing 20 stores by 2020. So that was the plan. And I not only lost my business, I lost my own personal wealth. So I, had investment properties. I had a business that was turning over $4 million a year. It was basically doubling millions every year. So every 12 months we open a new store, and what comes through the store in the first year was about $2 million. So every time we open a store, it's like bang, bang, bang. So that was the trajectory I was on. And not only did I have a great business, I also had a very, very beautiful family. A daughter who's now 13, my oldest son who's now 10, my other son Marlon who's 8, and my youngest son Casper who's 6, and my beautiful partner of 12 years, Casey. So, I basically had, from the outside, that would look like everything. I drove a 911 convertible. My partner drove a brand new Jeep. We lived in a beautiful home in East St Kilda. Everything from the outside looked incredibly good. And, I remember turning 30 and just thinking, fuck, I'm kind of pretty good. I felt really good about turning 30 because, after coming from foster homes and leaving school early and all that kind of thing, here I am, a multi-millionaire, driving a fucking Porsche with a beautiful family, traveled overseas, a couple of times every year. I mean, I was really, kind of proud at the outside of my life. Admittedly, I was still an addict, during this time. However, it was incredible just how material things can give us an illusion of our lives being better than they actually are. And that was certainly the case for me. But really, so why I'm painting this picture, it's certainly not to gloat, but it's to give you an idea of where I was at. A guy at the top of his game. And, I lost it all 2 years later. So imagine being, driving a Porsche, to getting the bus, to getting the train, to having endless amounts of money, to being on the dole, to living in a beautiful house in East St Kilda with your family, to living in a shithole in Frankston on your own. This was what happened to me. and why it was so important, as it is for everyone. Everyone would benefit from hitting rock bottom. I mean, and look, when I say that, I mean, it's something that, look, if you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. But I can tell you that the people that I respect, the people who I really admire, are people who have overcome adversity. I don't really admire anyone who is the daughter or son of a billionaire who just gets to flutter about and do what they want and, still complain and, whatever. I mean, and I know these people personally. I know people like this. And there's just no real respect for those types of people because you haven't really overcome any adversity. You haven't had to really do anything hard. You've been enabled to live a life that, again, it's just a personal thing for me. But really, it's hitting rock bottom will teach you so much about who you are. It will give you so much fucking wisdom. And really, the fact that I have hit rock bottom, and it was a very public rock bottom, the fact that I've done that enables me to do what I'm doing right now. And that share with you the wisdom that I have experienced through my rock bottom. And when you really understand just how special and sacred and spiritual rock bottom is, you'll probably won't feel as though you need to enable anymore, because a big problem that drug addicts have, and it's not the case all the time. However, a lot of people who are drug addicts come from good families. This whole idea that all drug addicts come from terrible upbringings and things like that's just bullshit. It's incredible how many people I know that grew up in a happy home that just found drugs and became addicted. So, there are so many people out there who are, have no real outside reason to use drugs, and yet, they do. And the problem with this is that they're, like I said, they're from a good family, and typically it's easy to understand. I mean, you can understand why someone would want to, leave their son at home. I can't have you out on the street. Come home. You need money here. Have some money. Come on, let me feed you. Come on, And look, I know someone personally, and this guy would like to call himself, an alpha male, and is absolutely delusional about who he thinks he is. And this person will use drugs, feel really fucking bad about it, go between his mum's house and a family friend's house and just live there rent-free, eat all the food, and then when he's had a big bender, he'll go back to the country and, milk them for everything there, the food, the bed, the accommodation, whatever. And then when he's right again, come back down to Melbourne, get on the gear again, and then go back there. You know what I mean? It's just like, and you keep on enabling it to happen. And the best thing you can do is when he turns up, say, get the fuck out. I can't have this anymore. Go and fucking sleep outside. Do you know that it's actually really fucking important that you're able to do this? Tough love is necessary. Tough love is absolutely necessary. And if you continue to enable the drug addict in your life, you are not helping them. The pathway to hell is paved with good intentions. And I know that you're well intended. But if you continue to enable their drug use, you are not helping, you're enabling. And you're helping them avoid one of the most special, spiritual, it's just absolutely profound what a rock bottom can do. So, let's go back to my rock bottom. So, there I am, turning 30 and, again, because so many people that I grew up with and know, the 30th birthday is that big year that you kind of really, judging yourself. It's like, okay, like, oh God, I'm such an adult now. I'm 30 years old. And, you have this tendency to reflect on your life and, where you are today. And, the amount of pressure that people put on them to, God, if I don't have a house at 30 and if I'm not married at 30 and if I don't have this at 30 and, there's just 30 is just a really, psychological barrier for a lot of people. And, that was why when I turned 30, I was like, wow, I'm really one of those people who are turning 30 and are really fucking proud of kind of where I'm at. And, it was interesting, when I was turning 34, I was absolutely, or 33, I was absolutely ashamed of who I was and what I had lost. And, it's, like I said, when you go from having your license, driving a Porsche to getting the bus, that's something that not many people get to experience. When I went to finalize my bankruptcy, it was the first time I ever saw on paper like how much money I had, how much I was kind of worth. And for the first time I kind of thought, wow, you did really well, Kris. You did really fucking well. And I walked out of there having surrendered my passport, having recently just been on the dole to get the train home to nobody, not my partner, not my kids. And of course I continued to use. What was incredible is that I continued to use, knowing that my drug addiction caused all of this, I still continued to use. So, my rock bottom really hadn't happened yet. Certainly it was a low point. But I think I was, if I'm being really honest, I think I was just still in shock. And I think that because the last 12 months of me being in business was so hard and was so stressful, I literally was working 17 hours a day. I would have blisters all over my feet. I really just gave everything I had way, way too late. What didn't help as well is that when I say I gave everything I had, I sold all my properties. I literally spent over $1 million of my own money going broke. I didn't listen to advice to liquidate. I could have kept my assets, about $1 million worth, but I didn't. I thought I could trade out of it, and I didn't. So not only did I, lose everything, I was faced with knowing that I didn't have to. I didn't have to lose everything. I could have liquidated, kept $1 million, took some time off, and went again with something else. So, not only did I lose it, I lost it all on my own. And, why this also wasn't still a rock bottom yet as well was because I was proud. And you're probably thinking, how the fuck are you proud, you idiot? You just, You know, you just fucking lost all your fucking money, you lost your business, and you're fucking at zero. How the fuck could you be proud? And the answer is because I gave it everything I fucking had. And yes, it was too late. But I gave everything I fucking had in the end, and I was proud of that, and I'm still proud of that today, you know, and what it's enabled me to realize and understand is that, you know, money wasn't everything. You know, like when I think about it, like, did I like having that business? No, I fucking didn't. Do I have a passion for selling fucking hamburgers? No, I fucking don't. You know, do I have an appreciation for, you know, young teenage, you know, staff members who are more concerned with, you know, going out and partying and, you know, getting paid to stay? I mean, look, really, everything about that business. I mean, yeah, I'm glad I did it, but I don't miss it one bit. And, you know, like I said, I mean, it was just a wonderful thing to experience. And, you know, that's, again, it's like this whole hitting rock bottom thing. You know, like experience is what, you know, makes up our life. And you know what? Yeah, I got to start and found a business that turned over $1 million in its first year, doubled in the second year, doubled in the third year, got billionaire investment. You know, it was a really big thing. I also got to experience going bankrupt. You know, this all adds to my character. You know, this is why I am who I am, and this is why I'm able to make a podcast and talk about it, because I want you to understand that hitting rock bottom and going through adversity and having really hard times is actually really special. It's really special. You know, and you only have to think about the people that you admire. I mean, let's just name one off the top of my head, which is Nelson Mandela. You know, Nelson Mandela was a fucking incredible individual. You know, who was imprisoned for nearly 30 years for just having an opinion, for wanting there to be, you know, equal rights. And it was because of his adversity and because he overcame it and wasn't bitter and twisted and resentful. You know, that's why Nelson Mandela is Nelson Mandela. And these are the people that I admire. And I knew that, you know, I had a real opportunity. You know, when I kind of was at that rock bottom or near rock bottom point, remember I said that I wasn't fully there yet because of the reasons that I was still proud. And again, I was relieved that the business, I'm relieved that it was just finally done. You know, that last 12, 13, 14 months was just a really difficult time. And it was just nice that it was over. You know, it was just actually a fucking relief. But, you know, when did I really hit the rock bottom? It was when I realized that Casey had left me. It was then. It was then. And it was when I knew that she was on a holiday with another guy, you know, and someone else was spending Christmas holidays with my kids. And I was still using. And it was at that point, you know, that I really sobbed, you know, that it just, the reality, you know, because there was like, when the business ended, it was a relief because I didn't fucking want the business. In the end, I didn't fucking want it. And I wouldn't even want it today. But I never didn't want Casey. You know, I never didn't want my kids. And this was the rock bottom. And it was incredibly sad. Not only had I lost my business, not only had I lost my partner, my kids. I mean, I was so unhealthy. I mean, I was probably 75, 80 kilos. I was completely emaciated on the ice. You know, everyone had abandoned me. I was alone. I was alone. And it was magical. You know? Something happens when you hit rock bottom. And this is why I'm making the podcast today about it, because you really can't deny someone hitting rock bottom. It will be the one thing that changes their life. And you can understand it very simply. I mean, when you're at rock bottom, you know, where else is there to go? You know, it literally can't be any fucking worse. Where else is there to go? It's only up. I mean, there's a point, and again, yes, I'm sure you could get worse. I mean, I could have killed myself. I could have killed myself, and wouldn't that have been the ultimate failure? Isn't it the ultimate failure? You know, the opportunity that I had was huge, and I knew it, and I knew that, you know, surprisingly, you know, even at that low point, there was still opportunity. There was still light. And the opportunity was, fuck, what if I can turn this around? Like, what if I could turn this around? What if I could beat addiction? What if I could win my family back? What if I got healthy? What if I started a new business? What if I turned away from everything that I was doing, that I knew that I was doing that wasn't good for me? All of a sudden, my life became really simple. Do what's good for you, Kris. The reason why I had lost everything, because I was doing what was bad for me. I was making bad decisions. I was making bad decisions about what to do, what to consume, where to spend my time, what to prioritize. All my decisions were fucking stupid. And that's why this will help you hopefully understand why I make the videos, the TikToks, the videos about what I do. Because I know how stupid you are. I know how dumb you are. I know how much of a fucking pussy you are. Because you don't have the courage to change. You stay the same, and you're fucking weak. And I was exactly that. So it's like, you know, I'm not talking to someone I don't know. I'm talking to the millions of people out there who know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. And that's exactly why they get so fucking offended. I know all about addiction because I've fucking been there. And I've been there badly. And I've been there for fucking years and years. Decades. Life sentences. That long. And I've overcome it. And I had to hit rock bottom. And that was a gift. And it's just funny that anyone has the audacity to tell me that I can't talk about addiction. Do you know how ridiculous that fucking statement sounds? Don't deny your loved one hitting rock bottom. Embrace your rock bottom. Embrace it. It's an absolute gift. You earn it too. You earn it. And that's one of the beautiful things about it. No one put you there but you. And as soon as you can understand and accept that, as soon as you just take responsibility for my life is fucking shit because the decisions and the choices that I made it so. That thinking alone will change your life today. You want to change your life today? Take responsibility for where you are today. It's all you. It's all your fault. You are the way that you are because you have handled every decision along the way you have. It's freedom. Taking responsibility is ultimate freedom. And I encourage you to do it. I encourage you to take responsibility for your life. I encourage any parent or loved one to stop enabling their addict and let them hit rock bottom. It's a wonderful gift that I'm so grateful I've had. And I wouldn't be saying this if I wasn't so grateful about the experience. If the experience of me hitting rock bottom wasn't incredible, I wouldn't be sharing it. It's the same thing with living a clean life. If my life wasn't better than it's ever been, I wouldn't be advertising it. I wouldn't be encouraging people to do it. So remember, the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions. I know you're well intended with the loved one, but please let them hit rock bottom. It's a beautiful place to be, and there's just only one way where to go when you hit it, and that's up.